He bowled stumps, so that's where that ball's going. Had he gone outside his eye line, he would have put him up over cover. That came into the stumps, into his eye line. Picked it up beautifully. Terrific batting here by Wells. He's looking to put a cherry on top here. Something around 165 would be good from here. They're 147. They've got 9 balls to go. 2 a ball, and they're right in the ballpark with a good score.
It's been a great fight back. Full Yorker length ball taken on the full, and was it a drop catch? Went straight back to the bowler. He dug it out, did Wells. Renshaw got back in the nick of time, and I wonder, is that... It's a no ball, free hit.
That's the one.
Lassu's out. So big step. Yeah, that's a foot over.
He's got that horribly wrong habit. That's a real odd one.
Wouldn't mind seeing if that was a return catch drop too.
Didn't really matter with the no ball. Free hit. Wells on strike.
On 56, he winds up. The ball was pitched outside off. Bounces in front of Dan Christian at long on, and they get back for 2.
And what about the role that Renshaw plays in this?
150's up.
Yeah, as soon as that ball gets hit, he's going, no, you're back on strike, Wellsy. Even if I need to sacrifice myself, he's 24 or 15, but they're turning those ones that went straight to long on, but they were able to still get 2.
What an innings from John O'Wells. Just time and time. You could set your watch to this bloke. 4th score above 50 for the year. Aberdeen, that's going to be wide. He's got a brilliant... that's a terrible call. That is a terrible, terrible call.
Wrong again, umpire. No, wrong. He put it outside the blue line. And
I can see that from Melbourne.
And because the ball's out there, he's taken a step. He hasn't lined up out there, and you widen it. No, you've got it wrong. Someone teach him the rules. This is just wrong. There's 2 they've got away with. Anyway, Wells is steaming.
4 for 150. Last ball, the Renshaw over. He clips that up over the off stump and somehow gets that to the boundary through square leg. It was a Yorker length ball. Has the last laughed as John O'Wells. You don't give me the call, I'll take the next ball for 4. 1 over to go. Strikers 4 for 154.
On the SEN app, check out the SENW channel with stars of women's sport at home and abroad. Daisy Pierce, Katie Brown, Stephanie Brance. Plus, on the SENW channel,
we cover AFLW, Rugby League, W League, netball, cricket, and track the female stars of horse racing and more.
For the latest news, interviews, and catch-up podcasts with the biggest names in women's sport, jump on the SENW channel. Download the SEN app now.
16 off that Abbott over. He finishes with 3 for 27, but that's their best return on an over in this game. And John O'Wells, you are a star. Dwarsh's left arm over. Yorker length ball. Winding up. Going to long on is Renshaw. And they get back for 2. That's very, very sharp running from the Strikers, who, after 4 overs, were 3 for 21 after 4 overs. And since then, they've put 156 on the score, not in addition, but overall, and have lost just 1 more wicket. Cobain out 8 in the 15th over. Dwarsh's left arm over to Renshaw. Again slower, not as full as it needed to be, and sent into the second deck by Renshaw over mid-wicket. They were on the canvas, the Strikers. The count for the standing 8 was at 6.5.
And a free swing of the bat. He has hit that miles. 109 metres. That's clean, crisp timing. And a beautiful swing of the bat.
And taken in the crowd. Full toss on middle and leg. Renshaw, those whipping wrists through mid-wicket, but Dan Christian keeps that to 1.
Well, the bat acceleration, Sam, that's what he does so well. He can whip it square, but that one there, he opened up, hit it over mid-wicket. Fine catch.
Great catch in the crowd. Almost took it one-handed. His mate's booing him because his mate tried to get it. Mate, if you were any good, you would have got it. Go and buy him a beer. No heckling him. Don't boo him. Worst friend ever, that bloke. Worst mate ever.
And the worst beard, I think, in Sydney.
He's got the chin strap with no mo.
A ginger one.
Motorbike helmet. Yeah, Daz confirming Silk's done a hammy. Wind up for a cut shot and it beats the top edge. They're still going to run through as it went through to the keeper. There's overthrows potentially as it ricochets off. We're going to have a look upstairs. So the attempted cut from a shorter, slower one from Dwarshus.
Run out at the bowler's ankle. We start with
No connection from Wells, and they took on Lenton and they might have prevailed. Abbott took the ball in front of the stumps, Bryce, and then went the underarm throw back. Oh, it's tight. It's very tight. What are you thinking? Thinking he's gone?
Not out. He's out, and then when the frame comes, he's moving 20 centimetres. He's safe.
Can you show
He's safe.
They might have to show from the other side just to see the frame, and that's what you're hearing in the background. It is so close.
What about stump cam? Have you got stump cam?
It's a frame, and he's out, and then the next frame, the bails are up and he's in, but the toe...
Yeah, if that...
Last ball, Yorker right angling in at the off stump. Inside edge onto the shoe for Renshaw, squirts out into the offside, and they get a single. So the strikers after 20 overs, 4 for 167. They lost 3 inside the first 4 overs, and they've managed to put up over 100 on the back 10 to give themselves a very competitive 167. So the Sixers with a decimated batting lineup. No Daniel Hughes. They lost Josh Philippi to COVID, and now Jordan Silk, who plays the John O'Well role, will bat at number 10 after doing his hammy. Phenomenal fight back from the strikers to make a game of this, and they do it off the back of John O'Wells, who gets his 4th 50-plus score for the tournament. 62 off 47. Cobain got 48 off 42, and Renshaw played a great second fiddle, 35 off 19, a strike rate of 184. This game, Bryce McGain will go down to the wire. Let's take a drink for Bundaberg Brew Drinks. Bundaberg Ginger Beer, the great Australian brew, the challenger to get into the BBL 11 final on Friday night. This game at the SCG, Sixers and Strikers, a big run chase coming for the Sixers on the other side of this.
You're listening to Big Bash Nation, broadcasting every ball of the Big Bash summer, live and free on your home of sport, SEN.
It's never been more important to buy Australian than right now. Our local manufacturers and growers produce world-class products known for their quality, safety and reliability, all while generating local jobs, supporting our communities and helping Australian families now and into the future. So look for the trusted green and gold kangaroo logo. Buy Australian now. Visit australianmade.com.au.
On the SEN app, check out the SENW channel with stars of women's sport at home and abroad. Daisy Pierce, Katie Brown, Stephanie Brands. Plus, on the SENW channel,
We cover AFLW, Rugby League, W League, netball, cricket, and track the female stars of horse racing and more.
for the latest news, interviews, and catch-up podcasts with the biggest names in women's sport, jump on the SENW channel. Download the SEN app now.
Queensland is a place to race. On a weekly basis, there's almost 30 meetings across the Sunshine State, so whether it's racing, pacing or chasing, Queensland has it all. Giddy up and find the latest news, horse, jockey and trainer profiles, race replays, black bookers, expert tips and form analysis. Plus, you can find all the info you need to plan your fun at all the major race days and events. Visit racingqueensland.com.au, where Queensland is racing.
Every year, over 4 million people get really crook in the guts because their food hasn't been prepared properly or cooked properly. You can lower your chances of food poisoning by always washing your hands before touching food. Also, keep your fridge rigid-dig by running it at 5 degrees Celsius or below. And always cook your chook and heat your meat. Go to the shop and get one of those meat thermometers, that measure the temperature. Then only say yes.
real adventures with Pat.
And the Strikers lose their fourth wicket.
He's 13 off 8 with a couple of boundaries in.
Line right arm around. Renshaw winding up and just clears the rope in front of square leg for 6. Right arm over. Abbott, this might be Wells' first 6 of the night. He's taken him high and long over mid-wicket. I reckon it's 11 rows back. Cautious left arm over to Renshaw. Again, lower. Not as full as it. Wicket taker for the Sixers. 3 for 27 off his 4 overs, an economy rate of 6.75, which is just a leap for a fast bowler for Henley Holmes. Henley Holmes delivering affordability. Great support too for the Strikers in their innings from Cobain, 48 off 42, Renshaw, 36 off 20. And when they lost Carey for 1, short for 6, and then head for 3, you thought this just might be beyond the Strikers. I don't know how they're going to post a defendable score, but Bryce McGann, they've done exactly that, and they didn't. They resisted the urge to sub in Jake Weatherald when they lost their power hitters, and it's proven to be an inspired choice. And now with this potent bowling lineup and the depleted Sixers batting lineup, they'd be licking their lips.
Yeah, they back their players to play their roles, and there's no better player at the moment than John O'Wells. 62 or 47, but he rebuilt the innings. He was in at the end of the 4th over, the 5th over. It was those 6 overs. They got to the halfway point. They got 41 off 36, and it was safely done. Cobain and Wells, they just rebuilt. They manoeuvred the ball around. They ran well. There was only a couple of boundaries in that whole period, so it was just good running. then they could set themselves up at that halfway point. They would set themselves to say, look, we need 10 and over. We can get 100 off those last 10 overs. Let's get that score. And they went about it, and they did. Cobain, as you mentioned, 48 was terrific. But Jono Wells and the finishing, Matt Renshaw, not to be understated, strike rate of 180, his 36 off 20 balls was brilliant.
I wonder when we'll start giving the kudos to Jono Wells that we should. He's now moved himself up to fourth on the all-time run scorers. I think he's the second highest for games played. But in 103 innings, he's accumulated 2,554 runs at an average of 34, a strike rate of 122. But his highest score, just to show his consistency, his highest score is only 73. So he doesn't get big leaps forward. He just every year in, year out, game in, game out, he churns out runs.
Ultra consistent, and he plays what I call the sort of pivot role in the line. He bats at 5. So if they're in trouble like they were, 3 for 21, well, he comes in and can solve that problem and then back end and do what he needs to do. He did it perfectly. He can finish an innings. He can accelerate an innings. He does everything, and he's in that important role. He's not in with the opening bats to look like he can score big totals all the time. He's always solving problems, and he's done that so well in this whole run home. The 6 wins that the Adelaide Strikers have been able to put together, he's played a big part in all of them.
Do you know who he is? He's Harvey Keitel in Pulp Fiction. He's the wolf.
He fixes it.
He fixes things.
Yep. That's what he does. He solves those problems.
And he will solve it.
I need some blankets. I need some doonas.
Well,
whatever you got.
It was looking, the scoreline was looking like a murder scene. Without being crass or bleak, but 3 for 21 at the end of their power play for Taipei Trusted Tyre Experts, and Carey, Short and Head are taking the pads off and wondering what on earth happened. That recovery,
under pressure.
We've always got recency bias, but that recovery, that's one of the best we've seen.
Yeah, it's like being 6 goals down in the first quarter in AFL, and then suddenly you're going there at the halfway point and you're right back in the game. In fact, they've been charged now, I reckon, just given the depleted batting lineup that we touched on before.
Yeah, that's extraordinary, isn't it? So we know that the opening lineup for the Sixers, when it's normally Vince and Philippi, well, Vince gone, Philippi out with COVID. It'll be Hayden Kerr, who's their leading wicket taker, and Justin Avendano, who played 2 games for the Stars before getting brought back in as part of the top-up pool to the Sixers. He made 50 last time these two teams played, or made a 50 last time these two teams played, 52 in fact, when the Strikers beat the Sixers on Jan 17. But all of a sudden, a team that was looking not odds on, because the Scorchers have had the better winning record for the year, but they're looking to do something that no team's ever done. 1, win 3 in a row.
Yep.
And 2, win 4 in total. And it's going to take an all-time performance for them to run this total down, I reckon.
Yeah, it will. But I'm not putting it past them.
No.
That's the thing. I can't put it past them. If suddenly those top 3 just provide 30 or 40 runs, you can hand over to Moses Henriques and Dan Christian, and they could just back end this and just guide it to